We're all here. We're back. Welcome to the Hambonez Show. Week 16. Week 16 of the NFL. We only got a few games left. How we feeling?
Feeling good. Yeah, nervous. Teams are starting to get eliminated. Looking at the standings, it's whittling it down here.
Yeah, when you get to this point in the season and you're constantly looking at the playoff predictor, it's not a good sign.
Yeah. And it's been a headline year. There's been some crazy things happening this year. Chiefs out of the playoffs, big injuries, especially just this past week. Geez. It's been a good year. Crazy year. Maybe not so good for these guys right here.
Time will tell.
All right, let's take a look here we go. Here's the Hambonez standings. So we got Zach back on top. I guess he never left, huh?
Yeah. Crested 200.
Yeah, he's crushing it.
The overall record is still up for grabs.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Well, I've got it by one game right now. Zach took a little step last week, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's been fun too. I know. I feel like I started off the year good, but I've been on some stinky weeks here. I gotta redeem myself here in the last 3 weeks. I might be getting some cute and cheeky picks going on here. We'll see.
Okay.
Hambonez guarantee update. Last week we were 6-1, so we got back on the right track. So we're 70.
Who lost? Is that the Chiefs?
Our loss was Tampa Bay over Atlanta.
Ooh,
the very first game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Great uniform matchup, by the way.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Solid.
Didn't like to see Mike Evans upset after they choked it away, but definitely like that matchup there. Well, let's roll right in here. We got a giant Thursday night game. Like, how exciting is this going to be? Tomorrow night, we have the 11-3 LA Rams taking on divisional opponent Seattle, who's also 11-3. Seattle is a 1.5 point home favorite. That's a toss-up, basically. Two top teams in the NFC West and the NFC in general.
It's going to be a good one.
All right, so we're going to start here with Zach. Zachariah, where are we looking? Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions, and the Seahawks lost by 2 in LA in their first meeting. He's bound to play better at home, right? Not sure to what extent, but losing Devontae Adams will hurt the Rams' offense. He's got the Seahawks over the Rams.
Nice. Yeah, I can't wait for this game. Like, I think this is the most wins between two teams in a Thursday night matchup ever, from my understanding. So that'll be really exciting. So first and foremost, this is Uni Alert number 1, and one of them that I'm most excited to see, I think, and more curious than anything. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen the Seattle Seahawks are going with their high decibel zone rivalry uniforms. So the helmet's almost like a chromatic, like a green look. I'll be curious to see how that pops on television. And the rest of the uniform is kind of like a gray, kind of a whitish with, again, that like green chrome lettering and numbers. So I'm excited to see those. They could be really good or maybe kind of a flop. I don't know. But excited to see those. I think I've always looked forward to those all year. So for that reason alone, I'm with Zach. I'm going to go the Seahawks. I think they're going to get some redemption here at home. It's always tough to play in Seattle. Schefter also reported a couple hours ago their plane's running late. It's never good.
Oh, yeah.
Also, McVay's staying up late this week. He had a new kid on Sunday, I think. So it's going to be a fun one. Probably be close. Give me the Seahawks.
Man, this is massive. This is massive for the playoffs. It's massive for the NFC. Who could potentially get the 1 seed? You're outdoors. What the weather's going to be like, I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel. I'm also on the Seahawks here. It just seems like, even though we just watched the Rams take it to the Lions,
take it to them is kind of a far-fetched.
Yeah, I guess take it to the defense, I suppose.
Yeah.
True.
We'll dive more into that soon. But yeah, I'm going Seahawks here.
I just pulled up those jerseys. Those look pretty sweet. They look like Oregon kind of. I don't know if we've ever seen a helmet like that.
I know. I'm so curious to see like how it's gonna pop. I think it could be really nice.
Yeah, and it's the white at home, which is kind of cool. Yeah, you guys kind of mentioned it though. I mean, battle for the 1 seed, no Devontae Adams. Stafford is 30 yards behind Phillip Rivers all time. So he will obviously pass Phillip Rivers, and then we'll see if Rivers can take that spot back a few days later. So that'll be interesting. But this is a little scary because I'm also going Seattle. This is interesting that we're going to Hambonez lock this. The locking the current 1 seed losing, which probably isn't going to be good. But
I mean, they have the same record. Let's not get carried away.
True.
That's true. It was a very close game last time too.
Yeah. I think it's a tough place to play. I think that LA could potentially have a Detroit hangover too. Tough team, you know?
The Honolulu flu, it was once called.
It's making a comeback.
Once upon a time.
Man, strategically, I'm just like, I got to switch, but I can't. I'm not going to, surprisingly. This would be a good spot to make up, but we're moving on if you guys are ready. All right, we have a Saturday late afternoon game. You got the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 9-5, on the road, taking on the Washington Commanders. Philly is a 6.5-point road favorite. It's a good amount there on the road. The Eagles, Zachary coming in via text. Our leader, he's going Eagles. Eagles over Commanders. The Eagles seem to lose a Commanders trap game late in the season every year, but he just can't pick.
I really thought about it. I'm on the Eagles. Kind of along the same thought process as Zach, and Eagles just aren't gonna lose one to the 4-10 Commanders without Jane Daniels. So I'm truly thinking about, taking the Commanders though. I don't know. I'll think about switching after I hear you guys.
Yeah, no, I think that's the general consensus. Like, I feel like most people would think, oh, easy win for the Eagles because the Commanders we've seen them be so bad recently, specifically their defense. But these divisional games, man, when the teams play each other, it is something to be said. When you play them 2 times a year, every year, one home, one away, rivalry starts, or you just kind of know how different coaches coach or different players play. Like, division games can get crazy. So this one wouldn't shock me at all. I'm going Eagles here. This could be a trap game, like you guys are saying. It could be a lot closer. Like, that's why I said that line's a little bit big, but Philly's the better team. I think their defense with no Ertz, right? No Daniels is done for the year. So I'm going Eagles. Pretty comfortable with that. But
yeah, Philly seemed to kind of get right a little bit against the Raiders last week. And I believe, if my math is correct, the Eagles can clinch a playoff spot with a win and, clinch their division, which would clinch a playoff spot. So, and Washington's obviously kind of in tank mode. So I'm also going the Eagles. I think I agree with what you said, though. This in another universe, I guess, where they don't have anything to play for, this kind of feels like a game they could drop. But I think with the division on the line,
all right, Saturday night. So this Saturday night, we got the Green Bay Packers going to Chicago. Green Bay's 9-4-1. The Bears are 10-4. Green Bay is a 1.5-point road favorite. Man, this is another gigantic game here. Now, in our own division, the NFC North, you got the two at the top. They're battling it off Saturday night. Zach says there's no Parsons. Get well soon. To pressure Caleb Johnson. Wink, wink. If you've been following the show, you'll understand that. Or to stop the run. The Pack is coming into Chicago. It's essentially the Bears Super Bowl every year. They want this one bad. He's going with the Bears. He's going with the Chicago Bears.
Oh, yeah. This will be it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be, I don't think the weather's going to be too crazy. It'll be nice to watch a game Saturday night, though. I'm also going to go with the Bears. I think after losing to them in a close one in Green Bay, I think they're hungry to kind of get revenge, and their run game has been super consistent. I know they got kind of two backs over there they're going between. So I think that's going to hold, pretty true to them this weekend as they go up against the Packers. And maybe the Packers are reeling a little bit. I don't know. Yeah,
this would be interesting to see if, with Parsons, who we all would have picked, because I'm also going Bears here.
Wow.
I mean, Zach Tom too is questionable. They have two receivers that are questionable. I think Watson might play. Josh Jacobs didn't practice today, or maybe that was yesterday. Maybe he was limited today. And then a safety. They got a starting safety out too. So it's like maybe their defense, like, how are they going to react to not having Parsons? Is that going to change things to where they don't know exactly how that's going to fit? And then you're going against Ben Johnson and the Bears, who, like, this is everything to them. They got to prove it. You know what I mean? This is a big, big game. And I feel like the vibes for the Packers might be a little off, even though at home too. Like, is it a different story at home? Do you trust the Packers as a team overall more than the Bears? But for me, I'm going Bears here.
Wow. Well, as Lions fans, if we know anything about rooting for Green Bay and needing them to win, we know they never win those games. So
exactly.
That's true.
I am also going to go with the Bears.
Oh my
and
gosh.
If you've seen any news from today, our friends, the Indiana Bears, potentially. So that's kind of funny if they were to move to Indiana. I don't know how they could be called Chicago when Chicago's not in Indiana if that happens, but I'm sure they won't change their name. But we're gonna.
That's crazy. I didn't see that. That's goofy. So we got 3 Hambonez locks in these first 3 matchup. That's pretty wild. That surprised me. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that's pretty bold.
Being clever.
I know. I was shocked that no one took the Rams. Maybe we're
Wonder
doing
like I go 4 for 4.
Are we like trying to anti-jinx the Bears maybe as Lions
Probably.
fans? Because we need, we would need the Packers to win. Let's move on to Sunday. Sunday, 1:00, the normal times here. We got Buffalo Bills on the road. Buffalo Bills are 10-4 going to Cleveland, who's 3-11. The Bills are 10-point favorites. Myles Garrett versus Josh Allen might be a battle of the 2 best players in the league. Do you think if the game is in hand, Josh gives Myles a sack to get the record like Favre did for Strahan? He's going Bills. He's got the Bills over the Browns.
Yeah, I don't think there's a world where the Browns upset the Bills this weekend. Josh Allen's playing like an MVP. Yeah, give me the Bills all day.
Yeah, I'm going Bills here. The one thing that you can do against the Bills is run on their defense. A little bit harder to throw. And with Shadur, I don't think that's a smart strategy really anyway. Or at least limiting his deep shots, So maybe Judkins can get going, but it's still just the way the Bills have been rolling, the way they're looking, and with the Chiefs being out too. And I'm sure we've heard this all, but it's like this is kind of their year. No Lamar, no Mahomes. And granted, there's other good teams in the AFC they're going to have to fight with to get to the bowl, but it seems like this is a great opportunity for them to reach the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was just looking at, even though Buffalo's 10-4, they kind of can't afford to drop this one, unless I'm getting their division wrong. But are they the only team?
Tough. It's going to be tough for them to win to the division. Yeah,
because they're a wild card right now. So it is closer than what I'm sure they would like. Kind of you guys mentioned it all. 10.5-point favorites. Obviously, going the Bills. 4 for 4.
Oh, wow. Very nice. How exciting. All right, here we go. This one, perhaps. We have the Los Angeles Chargers, 10-4, coming off their big victory with the Chiefs. They're going to Dallas. Dallas is 6-7-1, and they're 2.5-point home favorites. The Z-Man says, I'm banking on a Chargers emotional letdown after slaying the KC Dragon last week. He's going with them boys.
Yeah, I'm actually on the same exact wavelength as Zach again. after the Chargers beat up on the Kansas City Chiefs last week, basically put them out of their misery for this season, and we'll see how much longer. Yeah, I think the Cowboys kind of get one back at home here and show that they're still a solid team, even though Chargers could put up a bunch of points against them too. So maybe it's a shootout. That'd be fun. But yeah, sticking with the Cowboys.
Well, I'm going to break our streak here. I think this is one where I could have gone either way. I think initially I agreed, like Dallas losing 2 back-to-back at home seemed unlikely to me after their loss to the Vikes in 9. But for me, I'm going to go with Amari and Hampton and Herbert against this defense. And the Chargers defense is pretty good. They're actually ranked 2 overall in yards allowed on average. They got a pretty good pass defense, so maybe they can slow down the receivers. Maybe there's some bad vibes with the Cowboys now that they've been, or I suppose they have like a 1% chance. They're not technically eliminated yet, but they have very low odds to make the playoffs, I believe, at this point. So I'm going Chargers here. Don't let me down.
Yeah, this was also one I was flip-flopping on, and you mentioned the playoff odds, Jordan. Because the Eagles play Saturday, the Cowboys, if the Eagles win that game, the Cowboys will be eliminated before this game starts. So I kind of went back and forth on if that would allow them to just play free and fun and make them really dangerous at home.
That's true.
Once you're eliminated, just let Dak sling it. Or if obviously your motivation drops a little bit. So that's where I was flip-flopping a little bit. But I'm going to go with the Chargers with you, Jordan. I think they can score enough points to kind of keep up with Dallas. It might be a shootout, which would be fun, but.
Okay. We got a split. We got how many locks? 4 locks and a split. Nice. Okay.
All right.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, boy. They're 6-8. Wow. I feel like I got to take my tone down here. They are 3.5-point road favorites, but they're headed to Tennessee to take on the 2-12 Tennessee Titans. Obviously, don't really need to talk about it too much. Lost Patty Mahomes here with the ACL injury, done for the year. We'll see how much into next year as well. So, and eliminated. So that was a really rough go, the ending of that last game where they were battling to get back in against the Chargers. So, yeah, interesting to see, kind of. It's been such a given for how long now? 5 years, 6 years, more?
I mean, I think they've been in the AFC Championship for 7 straight, right?
Actually, 7 straight.
Yeah, I think it was quite a long streak for them missing the playoffs.
Yeah, I guess it's been like they said. It's like this was his 9th year playing. They drew that parallel to Brady, right?
Yeah, 10 straight years in the playoffs, 7 straight AFC Championship games appearances.
Jeez.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's so impressive. That is so impressive. All right, we'll see, if they can bounce back next year or if this is a start of someone else, But anyway, let's get to the game here. Zach is saying the Chiefs are in the most 1-2-3 Cancun situation I can remember. He's going with the Titans over the Chiefs. Bingo,
I thought I
bango.
was going to be the only person on the Titans. Yeah, give me the Titans too. My goodness, Zach. It's like we talked, earlier today. I think when they lost last week and Mahomes went down, I think like the whole Kansas City team, unfortunately, like they have nothing to play for. And it's kind of a reset year, over the course of the offseason and next year. We'll see what happens if he comes back right away. So I don't think they have much to play for. And Cam Ward in Tennessee wants to show he can ball and get a big win against the Chiefs. We'll see.
Interesting. Very interesting one because, Tennessee, like, you're already at the top of the draft, like towards the top, I should say. You're going to ruin it by coming out and winning these Chiefs. Like no one had this, ahead of time, past a week ago. I think the Chiefs are still, they're still a top 10 defense, I'd say. I think they're 8th overall for total yards given up. Tennessee's still one of the worst offenses. So maybe some players are thinking we need to show that Mahomes is great, obviously, but like it's not all him. We're still a good team. play for pride. I don't know. The smart thing, though, also would be to like, all right, let's tank now and get some more weapons on our team. I don't know if players are thinking that, but who knows? I'm going prove it. Kansas City Chiefs here.
So initially, I was on the same wavelength as Zach and Matt. I thought this was one for Tennessee to get no Mahomes. I kind of thought the Chiefs, would be in a situation they haven't been before and just kind of pack it in. But then I kind of, realized, okay, their backup is Gardner Minshew. He's got a little bit of a history of being a pretty good backup, coming in and having a little fun. So I'm also going to go with the Chiefs. I think he's still a good enough quarterback to get it done against Tennessee. They still have a better roster. Maybe it does allow them to kind of play free. One stat, just for all of our loyal Swiftie listeners, Travis Kelce is 52 yards away from 13,000 career receiving yards. So he should get that probably this game, especially with Minshew. I think that kind of makes sense. Nice short passes there. So, yeah, I'll go with you, Jordan. I'll go with the Chiefs.
Very nice. And any Swiftie listeners out there, comment down below, like, what's your favorite song from her new album, right? Something or other, Redwood or something like that with some sort of Kelsey joke. Okay. That might be for our Swifties only. Clip it. Video guy. Clip that. Lols. All right. Here's a barn burner. New York Jets 3-11 on the road going against the New Orleans Saints, who are 4-10. The Saints are 4.5-point favorites. Zach says, I can't take credit for it, but Mother Shucker with their QB Shuck has to be one of the best nicknames I've ever heard. It turns out the Mother Shucker can sling it. He's going Saints. He's going Saints here.
Ah, man. Yeah, he's been balling. I haven't watched really any of the games, but from what I can, see on the highlights and some of the stats, like he could be the guy down in New Orleans, which Kellen Moore has that team like playing pretty competent football the last month or so. And it's kind of nice to see because, Saints, haven't had a ton to root for the last, call it 5 or 6 years. So give me the Saints. Jets aren't playing great anymore. I thought they were kind of frisky and fun, a month ago, but I think they're kind of just hoping for a nice pick, and Saints at home are looking good.
Yeah, I feel like the Jets packed it in when they traded away Sauce and Quinnen Williams earlier before the deadline. Yeah. The Saints, what interests me is now, had they started Shuck from the beginning, look at the NFC South. Nobody wants to win, and we'll get to that, later here in a soon matchup. That they could have been in the playoff run right now. Because if you remember in the beginning of the year, I feel like I said a couple of times, like the Saints aren't an easy win. Like they're feisty and they'll play you hard. And we saw them sneak out a couple of surprises, especially in their division. So makes me wonder, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks, Carolina and Tampa Bay, they knocked off the two teams battling for that division. Yeah, I'm going to the Saints. I just kind of took a peek at the schedule here to see, in terms of draft pick, what would happen if if the Jets were to beat the Saints, they flip-flop draft picks. So
interesting.
The Jets, don't necessarily want to win that game. So yeah, I'll go with the Saints.
Do the Jets go QB in the draft? I guess it depends who's there. That is the talk.
Yeah.
We'll cover that another day. Moving on, we have the Minnesota Vikings, 6-8, coming off a win, going to New York, taking on the Giants, who are 2-12. The Vikings are 3-point favorites. Zach, Troy called it. JJ and the Vikings are rounding into a perfect form just in time to wreck our Lions. He's going Vikings over Giants.
Yeah, I agree with Zach again. I mean, the Mr. JJ over there is playing better than he has all year, aside from the game at Ford Field. So, yeah, I don't have much more to add on this one. The Giants have not really been a watchable team for most of this year. And, yeah, Vikings are out to kind of prove that JJ is going to be a good quarterback in one of the future. So they still kind of have stuff to play for. And Kevin O'Connell, he's just not going to let the team not be ready to play. So, yep, Vikings.
Trying to, like, as you were talking, I was trying to talk myself into going Giants here just to be different, because we're all getting along quite a bit too much so far this episode with these matchups, which is surprising me a little bit. Can we trust 9? Can we trust JJ? Right? He's been playing better. He's got some swag. Maybe this Giants D-line, though, let's think. Giants defense is bad, but the D-line has some great players. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter. They got these edge rushers who can maybe pressure JJ. So I can't do it, though. I'm going to stick with Vikings here. I was trying to talk myself into it. They just, like you said, Matt, the Giants have been a little too unwatchable. I don't have a lot of confidence in them, so I'm going to stick with the Vikings here.
Yeah, I also agree with what Zach said. I was right about JJ. And yeah, Minnesota's getting a little momentum here, and JJ's starting to cook. So yeah, I guess we're going to lock the Vikings. Hopefully this is their last good showing, and then next week we can get revenge. But
I don't even want to think about that right now. I don't have the capacity to think about that matchup. We have, moving on here, where are we? Tampa Bay, 7-7. Oh my, here it is. Going to Carolina, also 7-7. A battle for the NFC South. A little less exciting than the big other NFC matchups we have with the North and the West. Tampa Bay is a 3-point favorite, though, on the road. Zach, I'm still laughing at both of these teams for their collapses last week. The most Panther-y thing ever would be to lay the smackdown on Tampa Bay just to add to the confusion. He's going Panthers over the Bucs.
Panthers over Bucs, Zach says. Well, shocker, I'm with Zach again. I think the Panthers at home, I think, they've been on this roller coaster of a season. They win a couple, they lose a couple. Oh my gosh, the Panthers look like one of the better teams in the league. Oh wait, no, they still stink. But here we are, 3 weeks left to play. They have a shot to take the division, host a playoff game. I think they're going to show up. I think Canales is a pretty good coach over there. So I think he's kind of hitting his groove, the last couple of months, a year and a half into his tenure. So Bucs just don't look right. I don't know what it is. Mayfield has not been himself this year. I still love watching him play and the team play. I like that team a lot, but I think the Panthers pull this one off.
I feel like every week we kind of mention too, like the Bucs had such a hot start. They were like contenders to start the year. I think we broke them too. It was after our game we kind of broke the magic of the Bucs and their last minute wins. Now I do think their team is, was injured and different than what we saw maybe last year, not as strong. And both my head and my gut, same as you guys. Panthers, it's just not a comfortable Bucs team. The problem is, though, I've been riding with Tampa all year long, and they keep screwing me over. But I'm doing it again. Give me the Buck magic, man. Give me Baker.
Yeah. This is the battle of both the two teams that just don't want to win their division. So
what if they tie?
I was just going to say that. The perfect NFL script would be if they just tie. Just see what happens.
Wait, because they play again. They play again.
Yeah.
Like
that
the last week.
18, yeah.
So have them tie and then have it come down to that last game.
Oh.
And then they tie again. And then who?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Tampa Bay is a road favorite, though. I do think they are the better team overall. I'm kind of like you, Jordan. I just have a hard time seeing their struggles because they do have a lot of good players. Mike Evans is back. That was good to see him last week, and he went crazy. He's actually, I mentioned Travis Kelce's stat. Mike Evans is going for the same milestone. He's 44 yards away from 13,000. So that's kind of cool.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
Another split. And is it the teams? We're teaming up this week.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if that will reflect in the standings or the gap might be a little bit too big here. But that's interesting.
Unfortunately, Matt and Zach are the two that are leading our
I know.
they got a big lead, so we might be digging ourselves a hole here, Troy. All right. Here we go. Cincinnati Bengals coming off were they shut out? No. They got shut out by the Ravens?
Yeah.
Oh,
Were they really?
Yeah.
And Zach went alone on the Ravens last week. Maybe we don't need to talk about this.
Oh man.
The Bengals, they gave us hope. They're on the road. They're 4-10. They're going to Miami Dolphins, who kind of spiraling at this time, also 6-8. The Bengals are 4.5-point road favorites here. Interesting. The Bengals, Zach's going Bengals over Dolphins. Joe Burrow's comments and the press conferences have been on the sad side lately, he says. Nothing like some sun in Miami against a freshly eliminated Dolphins team to get your head right. He's going Bengals.
Yep. Shocker. I'm going Bengals too. Yeah, the Miami Dolphins had a nice little win streak there, and Mike McDaniel's kind of, I don't know, maybe he saved his job. Sounds like Tua might be out. I know Quinn Ewers is starting, I believe, on Sunday, so that'll be fun. But I think the Bengals going down to Miami, I think they're going to have some fun with it. Since Miami lost last week against the Steelers, I think their win streak is done. The vibes are gone again, so I think it's going to be tough to get back. Bengals.
Yeah, man, they did not look good. I watched that game a couple nights ago, and I had picked them. So that was, yeah, you got a loner on that one, I think, Matt. Nicely done with the Steelers. They look good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us Lions fans. I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys on the Bengals. I think, like I said, I was not pleased with what I saw from the Dolphins. They're benching Tua. Mike McDaniel's I feel like he might have done enough, but at the same time, they might as well just rip it all down to the studs and restart. No more Tua, no more Mike McDaniels. Yeah. Was it the GMs out too? So I feel like they're going to strip that thing down.
Yeah. Quinn Ewers filling in. He's not any good. So don't put any money on Miami. I'm going to go with the Bengals. I will give a little prediction here, though. Now that the Dolphins job is opened up for quarterback, I'm going to predict next year's Dolphins quarterback is Kyler Murray. That kind of feels like it makes sense.
That'll never work.
And Tua will be a Jet.
That'll never work either. More power to him, but gosh, what a disaster that would sound like.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
yeah, that would be great.
Tua in the New York media would be fun.
Oh man.
Cold weather, New York.
That's a good point.
Disaster.
Terrible turf.
Tua should go to frickin' Arizona, maybe.
Just have them
just
switch.
Swap.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, Aaron Glenn this year picked Justin Fields, so maybe he doesn't have a very good eye for quarterback talent.
He knew that. He knew he was rebuilding. He knows Justin's not the answer.
Maybe, hopefully. Yeah, what if Kyler just ends up going to the MLB? Can he still play baseball, do you think?
Maybe
he's
He'd sell some tickets.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. I could see that, actually. I have him in a dynasty, so that would probably happen.
Baseball dynasty?
I've been hanging on to him this whole time. Suckers. Yeah. Here's our 4:00 Sunday games. Here's another great AFC battle here, finally. We got the 10-4 Jacksonville Jaguars on the road to Denver, who's 12-2, and Denver is a 3-point home favorite. Zach, Trevor Lawrence has the best game as a pro last week against the Jets, but going to Denver is a different beast. A warm weather team going to the cold mountains. Give them the Broncos over the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mile High, Uni Alert number 2. So Denver, the only thing that's confirmed right now is white helmets. So it's not the throwbacks that we all love, but they have an all white helmet look, standard logo. I personally hope that they go with the Navy uniforms with the white helmet. So I really like that look. Either way, I'm excited for it. But for that reason, and playing in Mile High, I think Denver's one of the best teams in the NFL right now. Give me the Broncos. I am very excited for this game. I wish it was like a Monday Night Football game or something like that. I think those night games in Denver are super fun to watch, but yeah, should be a good one.
This one I might need a minute because I was undecided. I got a question mark. I was leaning Denver. It makes sense. I feel like overall I've been able to trust them this year. I think they are the better team with that defense. They're coming off that big win though, and at home it just seems so obvious. But I was thinking, the Jags are hot, and I don't know, they could be sneaky. Maybe they're catching fire at the right time. Bo Nix, I don't know. Broncos put up a lot of points on the Packers defense last week. I'll go for it. I can't believe this. I've been on the Broncos a lot this year. I've really been trusting their defense. I'm going to switch. I'm going to go with Jaguars here. I think that can be a little bit of a cute move. We'll see.
Wow. I think that Jaguars logo is my favorite one so far. I like that one. Actually, I like the Broncos one a lot too. Yeah, I've been for the last few weeks. I just feel like Denver's got to lose eventually, right? I think they've won like 11 of 12 or something like that. Just crazy hot.
Yeah,
I've kind of been trying to pick when is that going to happen. But Jacksonville's also been crazy hot. So kind of going by the laws of someone, Denver has to lose because they've won so many in a row. Well, that applies to Jacksonville as well. So because of that, I'm going with the home team. That's Denver. They're 7-0 at home. That's kind of my deciding factor in this one. So we're going to give you a chance, Jordan, to get a loner here.
Oh man, it's been a long time. My solos have been rough because they're winning and then they all blow it at the end. Like Cincinnati a couple weeks ago, the Ravens against the Pittsburgh with the likely touchdown. Just last week, the Patriots were up 21-0 and I was solo. I'm like, okay, that's a good start to the week. The Falcons on the road. Falcons are 5-9. They're on the road to the Arizona Cardinals, who are 3-11. The Falcons are 2.5-point road favorites. Zach has a little bit of a short story for us here. Okay. The national problem gambling helpline is 1-800-522-4700. The Hambonez team is recommending that we give out prior notice before discussing this game. The Double Birds game is basically they found a way to lose that game. Super Bowl. So he says, I know the Panthers, your losses are wild, but you have too many wins. Is Kirk Cousins more likely to throw 3 touchdowns or 3 picks? Nobody knows, including Vegas. From a betting perspective, this thing is a complete stay away. And he's picking the Cardinals because they are on a 6-game losing streak and they're bound to win one. They probably shouldn't, he says.
It's a crazy tough one because who wants to lose it more? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. So I was leaning Cardinals, but I think Kirk Cousins might go off. I think he might. So give me the Falcons.
Very nice. My only notes for this game was gross. I don't really have a whole lot to say. I think I was trying to decide who just has the better player. I'm like, they got Bijan, but Trey McBride's been crazy too. He's been, elite in his own way. So that was hard toss up for me. And the Falcons are yo-yoing, just like what we know with the Lions. In the end, I agree with Matt. I think I feel more comfortable going with the Falcons here, which is not a fun thing to say because they've been pretty wild and unpredictable this year.
Yeah. I guess I'll switch my favorite graphic now to the Cardinals one. I think I like that one the best now. You mentioned, I only had one word for my note too, and it was just Bijan. I mean, he's the best player in this game, but you brought up Trey McBride, and I was looking through different, league leaders today, and it's crazy. I didn't realize how good of a year he's having, but he leads the league in catches over Puka and Jamar Chase and JSN and Amon-Ra. I mean, as a tight end, he's just been going off. So, that's good to see. But yeah, I'm going with Atlanta just basically because of a little bit more talent overall, I guess.
It'll be an interesting one. 2 teams kind of out of it, but the bird battle. Okay, here's our big matchup. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers 8-6 coming to town, coming to Detroit, who's also 8-6, and we're 7-point home favorites. Oh, Vegas is liking us. Zach. It's fitting that we are playing the Steelers as DJ Reed turns into Cam Sutton right before our very own eyes. I'm sad that Kirby is out and won't get to play against his son, Aaron Rodgers. And the Lions don't lose 2 in a row. He's going Lions over Steelers.
Yep. Yeah. Got to have a bounce back game. We'll get into it in a little bit, but I'm also taking the Lions. We've been on this yo-yo for the last, 2.5 months, unfortunately. And I think it continues. Yes, the Steelers looked good last week, but come on, it's the Dolphins. Their defense is terrible. So give me the Lions.
Yeah, we'll get into this a lot more. Check right up here, the Honolulu Blue breakdown should be popping up here. I'm going Lions, of course. I think I'll just give a little quick note. I think our linebacker play is going to be key here. It's going to be a good matchup against the Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Lions don't do anything twice in a row. And so we know they win, lose all the way. So this means they're going to win. They haven't lost back-to-back games in 3 years. We've kind of mentioned that. It's a must-win for them. Backs against the wall at home. Yeah, let's lock it.
Here we go. Las Vegas Raiders 2-12 on the road to Houston, who's 9-5. Zach is going the Texans over the Raiders. If the Raiders can't score this week, they'll be the first team since the 2000 Bengals to be shut out in back-to-back.
Oh, yeah. I don't have too much more to add. Got one more uni alert, and the Houston Texans are going with their all reds. They're, I think a lot of people call them their candy apple reds, but I think they're actually calling them the battle tested reds or the battle reds. I don't know. It's always fun to see that. Yeah, Texans defense, Raiders offense, are the Raiders get across half field? Probably not. Give me the Texans.
Yep, arguably the best defense versus the worst offense. They will get Geno back, Las Vegas. My notes also are, will the Raiders score this week?
Yeah, Houston's 14.5-point favorites. I guess that's all we have to say. I'll go with Houston.
New England Patriots 11-3, looking to bounce back. And you go into AFC opponent, the Baltimore Ravens, who are 7-7. The Ravens are 3.5-point home favorites, trying to scratch their way into the playoffs still. Ravens over the Patriots. More of a hopium pick than anything. The Ravens are at home, and they took care of the Bengals last week. He's going Ravens.
Yeah, this will be a nice AFC matchup. Still don't know what to think of the Ravens. They're just not the same old Ravens where they've got a dominant offense. Henry hasn't looked the same, ever since, we played him either. So Patriots coming off a big loss. Will they bounce back on the road? Maybe. But a young quarterback, I think I'm going to lean Ravens as well. So I think Baltimore takes it at home.
I think this is a great test for the Patriots. I don't really trust the Ravens, although they looked better, the past couple of weeks. Or at least last week. The Patriots, like I said, I think this is a chance for them to kind of show, don't take that wind out of their sails. You can be a contender. You got to come out here and put down the Ravens because the Ravens are going to fight. They've been in the playoffs for a while too now with Lamar Jackson, and they got to win this one. So I'm going Patriots. We'll see how this one goes. It'll be a good game.
Yeah, I was a little surprised Baltimore was favored in this one, even though they are home. But New England, obviously, the better record. Pats coming off a loss. Let's see if they can bounce back. Let's see if Vrabel gets them right. One stat to kind of keep an eye on, probably not for this week, but Derrick Henry's 192 yards away from being 10th all-time in rushing yards. So he, is getting real close to some rarefied air there. I am going to join you, Jordan. This is our common banana split here. So I'm going to go with New England.
All right. I like that. And Monday night, we got the San Francisco 49ers. They're 10-4 on the road, going against the Indianapolis Colts, who are 8-6. The Niners are 6.5-point road favorites. Zach, the Niners have won 4 straight, and the Colts have lost 4 straight. The Niners have a shot at the number 1 seed if they win out. He's going Niners over Colts.
I was going back and forth on this one as well. The Niners, they're just so consistent this year, which props to them with all the injuries that they have on defense. Yeah, I mean, it is on the road. It is prime time. So, and we know Grandpa Rivers, he played okay. I mean, they didn't ask him to do much, against Seattle, and had a chance to win the game at the end there almost. So I think it'd be really fun if Phillip, that led the Colts to a victory. I don't see it happening, though. Give me the Niners.
Yeah, I saw this was interesting, though, that the Niners with 10 wins, and they're sitting in a good spot for playoffs, and they still have a chance at, did he say the 1 seed?
Yeah.
Is that, wow, okay. Interesting. I didn't know they still had a shot at that. That's awesome for them. Myles Garrett has more sacks than the Niners. Do you see that? That's crazy. The Niners have the least amount of sacks in the league. This would be a really fun one to pick the Colts, because then you'd be an old man, the old grandpa, So why not? I'm going it. Fun. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. Let's do it. Just give it to JT. Throw it when you need to. Give it to Taylor and let him go.
I'm interested to see if this being his second game, does he improve a little bit, knock a little more rust off, or does his body start to fall apart? I guess it'll be kind of an interesting catastrophe here. I'm a little disappointed in you, Jordan. For one reason, we've had a Hambonez lock 9 times so far today, and that ties our most Hambonez locks we've had. So it would have been 10. We would have broken a record, but you had to go rogue. I'm also going the 49ers.
Oh, no.
And we'll leave you alone with Grandpa Rivers.
Wait, hang on. Please take me back. Take me back. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. We'll get it next week. That's bad. Which brings us to our locks, our individual locks of the week. We'll see how this goes. This has been a very large contributing factor to our total points and our overall standings this year, which has been really fun. And as the weeks go on, it's getting more and more interesting here. So I'll start right away here with Zach as our first pick, being our leader. He's in first place. Zach says, if I'm right, the Packers will lose, which is a little cup of hot chocolate for my soul, because he's going with the Bears over the Packers. He's locking it in. If he's wrong, the Lions have a better shot at the playoffs. So Zach's doing us a solid here, picking the Chicago Bears.
Well, Zach's on a hot streak with his locks too. I don't remember the last time he took one down. Yeah, I'm going to go boring this week. I'm going Texans. Give me 10 big ones. And did he really go 5?
He's going 5.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna pull ahead on here. Give me 10 on the Texans.
Matt's going 10 on the Houston Texans. Oh, boy. I have that as well. It's just too obvious, right?
Yeah. It's 10 points, just served on a silver platter.
I'm switching it up. You might be mad at me. I'm going 10 on the Lions. Let's go. Oh, I'm sorry. Please don't be mad. You can't blame me if things go awry against Aaron Rodgers. I'm doing it, though. I said if there was any other Texans, I'm switching.
Wow. Yeah, I guess Zach built up a little lead here, and now he's trying to put it on cruise control. We'll see. Bold strategy. He's got quite a big lead, though. So I had my safe one and then my fun lock, but Matt taught me a couple weeks ago to just play it safe. Don't try to get cute. So I'm also going to go with the Texans, 10.
This is our chance to bridge a little gap here if Zach misses. So we'll see. We'll see if we can come back here. This has been a lot of fun. We're coming towards the end of the season. Thanks for joining us here again today with the Hambone Show. I'll leave you with Matt and Troy signing off.
See you next week.
See ya. Have fun.
Bye.
Yeah, it's the Hambone Show. You know how we roll. Troy with the numbers, man in the zone. JMO got the graphics. Let's go. Step in the booth, this a Hambones vibe. Every week we alive, football talking worldwide. Troy got the stats breaking down like a pro. Matt got the uniforms dripping head to toe. JMO on the visuals, fresh like the paint. We the triple threat, ain't no way we ain't Hambone. We running the game, never alone. Book bones, that's the style that we bone. Hambone, we running the game, never alone. Talking football, stats and style right from the throne. Fast beat, fast life, every week we ignite. Hambone, drones, Hambones, yeah we do it right. Troy spitting numbers, got the facts on lock. Matt breaking down jerseys, every thread, every sock. JMO with the graphics, got the highlights popping. We the team you tune in when the action ain't stopping. From the field to the mic, we bringing the heat. Hambones on the rise, can't accept defeat. Hambones, we running the game, never alone. Talking football, stats and style right from the throne. Fast beat, fast life, every week we ignite. Hambones, yeah we do it right. So tune in, Hambones every week, don't miss. With Troy, Matt and JMO, we bringing the blitz. Football, fashion, graphics, we got it all. Hambones on the beat, we forever stand tall.